Jacqueline here. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel today. Today we're going to talk about how I use Cricut to design my invitations. So thanks for watching and make sure you hit that subscribe button. Basically this whole entire thing I'm going to be using 100% all Cricut related items other than this right here, bridal shower, and then my name, where I'm going to kind of later show you how to link those together. So basically what I do is, this is a mason jar picture from images that you can find over in this little tab. And then this is, I actually just typed in watercolor and this was one of the images on there, so I decided to use that. So what I do is I get rid of the lid for this just because I don't need it for this specific thing. And I unlock the height and width of it, and I use A2 envelopes. So I go 4 inches wide and 5.5 inches high. And what I do is I detach this, because if you don't detach those two, you will not be able to slice, because it's not going to understand why this right here is there. So we're going to hide that because we don't need that at the very moment. And I duplicate this, I have it 3 times, and you will see why I do this in just a little bit. Well, actually we're going to do 4 altogether. Okay. And I don't know why it does that every once in a while. Okay, so this is what we're going to start with first. And we're going to take our little flower over here. We're going to move it to the front. And I think I kind of want it just like that. I think that's going to be a pretty spot for it once I get it all here. So now you're going to select everything. You're going to select the flower arrangement here, and you're going to select the mason jar cutout that you have here. And then this little thing right here, slice, is what you're going to click next. So you're going to click slice. And then I like to keep this because sometimes I might want to use this little flower or something somewhere, and I'll show you that here in a few minutes. And then you delete everything that is nothing to do with those flowers. Then you bring this back over. We're going to make this one white because this is going to be our final project, so to speak. And we're going to line that up just like so. Then we're going to go back over here and we're going to hit our large mason jar drawing part, and we're going to unhide it. Now, at the moment, it's behind everything, so you can't see it. We are going to just move it forward. We're not going to move it all the way to the front because we still want it to be behind those flowers. And then we move it to where we like it. Right about there. And click that again, and then I like to switch it back to cut, and then it'll print it for you, so that way there's no drawing or anything like that. And then we're going to take it, and we're going to flatten. I'm sorry for my nose. The pollen where I live is horrendous, and I can't even. So now you have your flattened image over here. We can go ahead and start adding, our text on top. I went ahead and typed everything up. You just hit this little button right here and start typing, and there it is. And then you change it from cut and then over to print. Right now I'm using Brewery, which is actually we're going to hit all of this and we're going to say move to front. So that way we don't have to worry around. We don't have to play around. Brewery is actually a Cricut, a Cricut font that I have fallen in love with recently. Okay, so then down here, I have my little bridal shower separate, and that's just because I don't know how I want to put it. I'm telling y'all, it's 100% trial and error, and if I said any differently, I'd be lying. Okay, we're going to print that. And do we want to make it a different color? We can if we want to. Okay. And then move this over. Now this kind of goes back and forth, like it just depends on how you want everything to look. You don't have to go specifically with how I'm doing everything. You can definitely go differently. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to ungroup it. This is memories that I'm using. I always like to make the first letter a little bigger than everything else. I don't know why, it's just something that I like to do. Again, I am so sorry with my nose. I hate to be that person, but I just can't help it. And then weld together. Okay, nothing's going crazy. And me personally, I like one thing to line up. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. It could be, okay, the first two letters, the tops are the same, or something like that, just because I think it looks more formal and more put together. Okay. Now that we have that going, I kind of like how that looks, so we're going to weld that all together. We're going to bring it up here. Maybe make in honor of a little smaller. See what I mean? It's all trial and error. And let's print that, and we can make it the same color we made bridal shower, just to give it a little pop of color. And put this under here. Ooh. I need to get myself a mouse. That's what I need to do. Go back to the olden days of mousing. Okay. Make sure everything is print. Yes. And then you're going to take it off. Once you're like, okay, yeah, I really like that. I like how that looks. And you flatten. Now, just because I want to show you how I kind of sometimes play around with this. So like say I'm like, oh, you know what? Like it would look really, really cute if I had a flower like up in here. So I take this, I send it to the front. Let's move this down a little bit so I have some working room. And I position this certain ways. And I'm like, I'm like, oh, I kind of like let's flip it. I kind of like that, okay? I kind of like it up there or something. Bring this down a little bit. Okay, so then you take one of these again and you align it up right behind where you have your flattened image, and you hide your flattened image. Oh, I hit the wrong button. See, this is what happens. I hit the wrong button, things happen. Okay, still like where that's at. Move it down a little bit. Okay, so then hide that. Bring it down just a little bit. Oh my goodness. Hot Mess Express today, ladies. There we go. Okay, select all, and we're gonna slice again. Move everything out that you don't need. Bring back your flattened image. And then place this where you would like it. Let's take this canvas and change it to a different color, just so we can see where it's at. And do my new thing that I just learned that I didn't know I could do. See? It's a good thing I did this. I learned something new. Okay, so I like how that looks. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna hit that lovely flatten button again. And I think I'm done adding flowers. So then, change this back to white because I don't need it that color anymore. So then, I'm going to show you how to make the little backing. So I use craft paper. I'm going to make this brown. And what I like to do is I'm like, okay, so I like how it has that little bit of dimension there. And then I hit this little unlock button. And there you have it, ladies. That's how I make my little invitations. And then you can obviously do like a little tag or something if you want to add something to that. Let's see, tags. You could add like something like this. You could change the backing to the brown. Make the lighter color white. And then you could like add, let's go back to brewery. You could add like couple is registered at Macy's and Bed Bath and Beyond. And then you can change the alignment to center. And then if you really want to get fancy, oops. And if you really want to get fancy, you could go back to your watercolor. Click your flower image that you were playing around with. And let's see here. We'll do a little circle or a heart. We'll do circle. And let's just say we want this little section right here. And say you just want a couple more just to dress it up maybe. It's endless, ladies. It's absolutely endless. Flip it so it matches. And you could even, let's hide the tag for a second. Take these right here, group together, duplicate. We could flip it vertical so you have it on the bottom too. Bring back your tag. Move it up a little bit so you don't have anything coming at you. Then ungroup this tag and hide the brown one for now. Move this back to the back. Oops. Flatten. Bring back that. Group together. And there you have it, ladies. Your little mason jar with a tag invitation. And I mean, the things are endless. And like I said, I mean, you know, you can really honestly and truly do whatever you want to do to make it your absolute own. And that's the thing that I love about using Design Space. And I feel like it is super easy and super fun to play with. So thank you so much for requesting me to do this. I hope that you learned something. If you are confused or you need help with anything, please, please, please never, ever, ever fret and never, ever think that you can't message me. I am always here to answer any questions. And yeah, thank you for the request. I hope you learned something. Thank you again so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something along the way. These right here are what we created in this tutorial. I hope you have a fantastic day and happy crafting. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.